Well, good morning everybody. I will be honest and declare that I feel a little bit under pressure. As a landscape photographer, I feel like I need and want to make some autumn related content. And a couple of years ago, that was an easy task, but over the last few years, that's become a really small window of opportunity. And what I mean by that is, let's just take my daily commute, for example. In October, all of the trees and the leaves were exploding with colour. And I thought, okay, now is a good time. I need to get out with my camera and capture some woodland. You go to the woods and everything is green. Maybe a smidge of colour around the edge, but the woods are absolutely green. Get towards the end of October, all of the leaves on the streets and the local parks, they're gone. The winds start to pick up and you think, I've absolutely missed autumn. But then you come to the woods at the beginning of November and everything is still green, but a bit more colour around the outside. So at the time of filming this, we're in the middle of November and I think this is peak specifically for where we are. And Louise and I visited last week, different woods, and we've got some really good images that we're happy with. But we said next weekend, it's probably the last weekend we're going to get to shoot autumn. So here we are. And I don't mind working under pressure. I like the challenge. However, I go throughout the entire year, and if anybody were to ask me, Ben, what's your favourite time of the year for taking landscape photographs? I would say autumn. But in my mind, autumn is kind of a couple of weeks, maybe even a couple of months. But for the last 2 or 3 years, it's been 2 weeks at best. And let me explain the title of this video, Low Hanging Fruit. I'll show you over the road. Right, so this is an example of what Louise and I are referring to as low hanging fruit. When you come to the woods with a camera, I think sometimes you can get just a bit overwhelmed, maybe by photographing the colour or the light, and then you've got to think about composition and what the focal point in your image is. So when it comes to a subject like this low hanging fruit, you can focus on this, and ideally you don't have any other focal points in the image. So you're going to have obviously the woodland in the background, a darker backdrop would really help this pop. And if you could just wish for a spot of light from up above coming down and lighting up this, that's your perfect situation. Bit of mist, anything else? What did I miss? Rainbow.
Unicorns.
It's some unicorns, as long as they're not distracting. So you can imagine this, it's very simple, very clean, but this is what we are seeking out in a very busy, noisy environment such as the woodland. All right, so I'm just going to set up the camera now to capture this. And what is kind of nice is that last weekend and this weekend, we're not met with abrupt sunrise, immediate light, panic. We've got half an hour to get this done. Although it's not going to be as dramatic, we can just take our time setting up the shots. Now, to give yourself as much opportunity as possible, I would bring a lens probably in the region of 70 to 200. I've got a Tamron 28 to 200 giving me the maximum flexibility. So in terms of picking your lenses for this type of shot, it's quite important that you've got the freedom to zoom in on your lens, because you can't always remove distractions by moving the camera itself. So this is my composition. You can see I've got the tree here, I've got that, just making sure that my composition, you can see if I zoom out too far, this at the top starts to come into the frame. So what I'm looking to do is be very deliberate about trees that I do and don't include. See this tree on the left hand side, it's a bit heavy, a bit distracting. So I'm probably looking to be around there, because I don't need this tree and everything behind it all in focus. I'm shooting at f8, ISO 100, and that is equating to 1.5 seconds, 2-second timer. If it was windy, I would have to keep an eye on my shutter speed, because the leaves and the branches would be waving around, and that would equate to blurry images. So there's absolutely no wind about this morning, so 1.5 seconds, I'm absolutely fine with that. Here you go, first image in the bag. Are you okay? Have you fallen over? I have to document this because Louise is running out of ideas, so she's now lying on the ground.
Oh, hello.
Oh no, I'm going to have to eat my words, aren't I?
Still terrible, but not quite as terrible.
All right, scooch over.
Oh, things I need to not be doing with my life. Lying on a woodland floor, pointing my camera up.
Who's going to help both of us get up?
Listen, I'm a lot older than you, mate.
If you are new to my channel, this is Louise. Welcome. She's not always on the floor. Very, very good photographer, and she's also got her own YouTube channel, so make sure you go and check her out. So I am doing a bit of roadside photography. It's not really the sort of thing that I do, but between the car and the woods that we were in, this caught my attention as the sun was rising. We're definitely not going to get any epic light this morning, but there is this one tree in this patch here that has got all of the colour. I think it's a larch, not entirely sure, but again, this is different to everything else around it and therefore stands out. And then you've got a bit of an opening and a bit of a gnarly tree next to it. So pretty happy with this. And just behind that tree on the hill there, I'm going to move along the road a bit, is Hanaka Windmill. Never seen it from this perspective. I think I may have found something of interest. In the middle of the woods, there is a straight line of trees where they've removed an entire row. And what it does is it's kind of got stepping stones for tree trunks. And I think that there might be a shot here. I just missed some deer running through the scene. Maybe they'll come back. But I think there's definitely something here for the camera. I think I found the last shot of the day. As we were walking through the woods, again, we were looking for some low-hanging fruit. And this one, is it silver birch? Louise, help me out. It's a tree. Whatever species this is, we like the look of it. It's colourful and it's got a lovely dark backdrop. So we've got a vertical composition, nice tight crop. Really happy with how this is working out. What a lovely morning out. I am content, even if I don't love any of these images and they don't end up on my website, that I've been out and I've witnessed autumn with my camera. I think that was the main point for me. Thanks to Louise for joining me and entertaining me as always. And if you've got any questions, let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you in the next video.